In 1993, great things were afoot in the computer game world. Companies were trying out new ways to capture the market. Virtual reality was a thing. Computer animation was becoming more and more advanced, but a company called Visual Concepts were trying something new. And this brings us to our review today of Clayfighter on the Super Nintendo. The first time I was aware of this game was when it featured on a TV game show, Games Master, back in the day when Dexter Fletcher hosted it. Remember him? They used this game in one of the rounds. Take a look at the action being played by a couple of the gladiators. I remember at the time being blown away with the graphics, but is it all style over substance? Well, let's find out. Released on May 26, 1994 in Europe and published by Interplay, them of Earthworm Jim fame, this game used clay animation to represent the characters. The game is a one-on-one fighting game with 8 playable characters and 1 boss character. You can choose to play as Bad Mr. Frosty, Blob, Blue Suede Goo, Bonker, Helga, Ichabod Clay, Taffy, Tiny, and then the final character, End Boss. You can choose between 1 and 2 player games. The 2 player game is a straight up battle to see who lasts the longest. The 1 player game is where it's at really. The loose plot that's laid out in the manual is that a meteor made of clay crash landed on a circus, bringing all the attractions to life. They then decide, for no particular reason, to beat each other up to see who's the ultimate champion. The first issue that I have is the player select screen. It doesn't exactly set the world alight and doesn't let you see the characters in their entirety. I much prefer the Street Fighter 2/Mortal Kombat idea of seeing everyone on one screen. Then it's into the game. You fight through 12 rounds in order to complete it, and it's just a case of bashing the buttons and depleting the enemy's energy. No combos, no finishing manoeuvres, just straight up red hot clay on clay action. But alas, like plasticine that's been left open for a week to dry out, it's a bit disappointing. The characters are all very well animated, they've got funny names and the sound effects do match them. The stages are all bright and colourful, and I do like the music that plays happily along in the background. But it's all over very quick. I completed it within an hour. Even on the hard levels the game isn't a challenge. All the characters have special moves, but it appears they all work at random. I remember being very disappointed when I loaded this up into my Super Nintendo in the mid-90s. In a very short space of time I had seen everything the game had to offer. The end of game baddie is so easy. I finished him on my first attempt with just basic kicks. No end screen to speak of, just end credits. A bit more polish on the game, with some cutscenes and introduction maybe would have gone a long way. I did ask earlier if the game was style over substance, and I'm afraid it very much was. They released a tournament edition in America, and the game was ported to the Mega Drive. There was also 2 sequels developed, Clayfighter 2 Judgment Clay on the Super Nintendo, and Clayfighter 63 1/3 for the N64. There was various new titles announced, but they never happened. They've been forgotten like some 2-year-old Play-Doh crusty in the bottom of a tub. The reviews at the time were very lukewarm, with most applauding the developers for the use of the stop-motion graphics and music, but like myself, found the gameplay dull with no reason to go back and play after the initial outing. It is worth a good play for once, but don't expect to be playing it over and over again. Well, if you agree with this, let me know. If you don't, again, stick them in the comments and we'll have a chat. But thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Noob Game Reviews.